Urbanization is on the rise in Africa, and this trend is expected to continue in the future. Waste management has been ignored in the past across Africa. It now requires critical attention to ensure sustainable urbanization. As African cities rapidly grow, so does the amount of waste that they generate. According to experts, addressing waste management in Africa's fast-growing cities requires innovative engineering and technology-based solutions. African engineers met in Kigali, Rwanda for the second Africa Engineering Conference, which focused on effective waste management in Africa. The Africa Engineering Conference was held simultaneously with the 4th UNESCO Africa Engineering Week from the 25th to the 29th September 2017. It brought together over 1,000 local and international delegates, including engineers, consultants, industrialists, economists, development partners, and other experts. While officially opening the conference, Rwanda's Prime Minister said that effective waste management is timely in light of Africa's increasing urbanization, natural resources exploitation, agricultural production, and utilization of electronic gadgets.
Strong measures are needed for adequate and sustainable development of this critical sector of human existence and well-being. Science and technology have always been some of the strongest pillars of prosperity and development. Today, Africa is having an intense urban transition, and therefore these two pillars, meaning science and technology, are compulsory to effectively manage our systems, particularly waste management systems. As we know, no country has ever moved from developing to developed status without adequate engineers.
The conference deliberated on important components of waste management for the continent and suggested ways to address the challenges of municipal waste, waste from agriculture, mining, electronics usage, and other forms of industrial manufacturing.
This conference is a good platform for dissemination and exchange of engineering knowledge, innovations, solutions, and promotion of the engineering profession. This is an opportunity to strengthen engineering profession across the continent through promoting high ethical standards and accountability in order to build trust and confidence within the engineering industry. The theme for this year's conference is effective waste management in Africa. It's timely in light of the continent's increasing urbanization, natural resource exploitation, agriculture production, and utilization of electronic gadgets.
Major topics of discussion at the second Africa Engineering Conference were devoted to solid and liquid waste management, entrepreneurship in waste management, especially waste as a resource and waste transformation technologies, trends and sustainability in waste management, education and training in waste management, urbanization and waste generation and industrial waste management, urban development and infrastructure, ethics and professionalism in engineering practice, young engineers and future leaders, and women in engineering.
The contamination of the atmosphere, water, and soil has a severe effect on lives and livelihoods of humanity. Engineering must promote innovations to assure the quality of the air, of drinkable water, and of clean soil. In order to mitigate the effects of natural disasters that create problems in the water environment, waste management, and food production, engineering has to implement measures to protect infrastructure with the most resilient technologies. Engineering is the activity of utilizing the output of science and technology to create safe and prosperous lives for humanity. Engineers must not only work for the advancement of specialist knowledge in the areas of science, technology, and engineering, but they must also take into account ethical and professional concerns especially by taking responsibility to fight corruption.
Participants at the conference applauded Rwanda's green growth strategy and its efforts towards effective achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). Rwanda is ensuring that all forms of development go hand in hand with its green growth and environmental protection agenda. The current global solid waste generation is approximately 1.5 billion tons per year and is expected to increase to 2.2 billion tons per year by 2025. Solid waste generation in sub-Saharan Africa is currently approximately 70 million tons per year and increasing. The conference emphasized the need for African governments to give sufficient support to their engineering professionals in order to build capacity for efficient and effective integrated waste management technologies.
The world is changing and new challenges are surfacing. This is why we have decided to make up the responsibility to address some of the problems and provide a fine environment to our families, our people, and our world. Waste management is a prime example of the added value that we can bring to the community and the world as a whole.
The conference served as an opportunity to strengthen the engineering profession across the continent through promoting high ethical standards and accountability in order to build trust and confidence within the engineering industry.
Addressing waste management in the fast-growing African cities will require innovative engineering and technology-based solutions. As the saying goes, waste becomes a waste when you waste it. As Africans, we need to continue working together to harmonize our policies. Ultimately, we look forward to the time when waste can be lightly transformed into one of the resources to power the continent's sustainable development.
The conference stressed the importance of a proper and efficient mechanism to make waste management a profitable business across its value chain, right from sorting, transportation to disposal through proper recycling. For a nation to be green, clean and smart, innovations in waste management are needed to turn wastes into solutions instead of rendering them a threat to urbanization.
This conference was so well attended and is so well prepared, and we are very impressed, and we think that this is a landmark, and it is in fact an icon that will actually put Africa into the right space and the right track.
Engineering is the activity of utilizing the output of science and technology to create safe and prosperous lives for humanity. Engineers were urged to work for the advancement of specialist knowledge in the areas of science and technology and also take into account ethical and professional concerns.
UNESCO would like to call upon African governments to develop policies that will promote quality STEM education at different levels of education. However, action and adequate funding for science, technology, and engineering education must accompany such policies. Furthermore, African institutions of higher learning must adopt more innovative ways of teaching and learning of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics courses, and particularly for engineering, if the continent is to achieve majority of, if not all, the 17 sustainable goals by 2030, and particularly the Sustainable Development Goal number 1, which focuses on the eradication of poverty.
The Africa Engineering Conference was the premium platform for knowledge generation, exchange and transfer to inform engineering education, policy and practice in waste management and other engineering spheres. Engineers who attended the conference expressed their commitment to contribute towards sustainable development of their countries and the continent in general.
Africa for a long time has had development, and as a new developing country, Africa has a lot of problems in waste management because of the growth of its society and the background and the education that our society have. And this, in fact, is a landmark that will actually help it to solve the problem, because urbanization it seems to be taking a lot of toll, and lack of planning in so many cities is creating a problem, and engineers are faced with a mammoth task of having to solve the problems of a huge waste in their countries. So I think this conference is going in a long way to help assist the governments, to help assist even the profession to solve these problems.
I think Ghana should rather learn from Rwanda. Ghana has been Ghana for over 60 years, but we are battling with waste management, both solid and liquid waste. And it is the things that have been presented here are not new to Ghana. I think Ghana's challenge is putting our actions, our words into action. And I think this is what we have come to learn here, that it takes the leadership and it takes the engineers to work together to achieve this. So it is possible. We have come to learn from Rwanda.
During the conference, Rwandan engineers took oath committing to adhere to the law and rules of ethics governing the profession of engineering. The oath is meant to promote professional ethics, integrity and accountability for the benefit of the public and Rwandan society that expects a lot from engineers.
Any cohesion and consciously.
The oath was adopted by engineers themselves through internal rules and regulations as an additional requirement for best practices.
Let me take this opportunity once again to congratulate the engineers who just took the oath today. This is a very, very serious commitment to the profession, and therefore it's a step forward in creating confidence even within the society and the community of engineers. Certainly has gained more strength and more confidence to the public and to your clients. I wish to reiterate our call for professionalism in this engineering profession.
In fact, I'm very impressed by the number of engineers who have been registered here. 800 in 4 years is not a small number. In Kenya, we have been in the profession for over 20 years and we have only 2,000 engineers. So you can see the way this institution is going up. I expect many more to be registered here very fast. And this really is because of the very good support and policies that the government put in place to support the profession engineering. We in the FAO, together with the WFO, make this event a very regular event every year, because the month of September has been recognized as a week for engineering, a month for engineering, in as far as the UNESCO calendar of events is concerned.
Rwanda's Minister of Infrastructure called for more commitment, professionalism in the engineering profession, given the nature of the work they do, which can have a huge impact on the public. No country has ever developed without adequate engineers. One of Africa's most important resources is the skills of its people. A well-trained labor force is the single most important enabler of economic transformation for African countries. On the sidelines of the conference, an exhibition showcasing innovations in the profession of engineering was also taking place and open to all participants. The conference was an opportunity for engineers to renew their commitment in promoting and developing innovative engineering services and exchanging best practices for the sustainable development of Africa. The 4th UNESCO Africa Engineering Week and 2nd Africa Engineering Conference was organized by the government of Rwanda in collaboration with the Federation of Africa Engineering Organizations.